We're joined by former Utah Governor and Republican presidential candidate Jon Huntsman. Welcome, sir.
Delighted to be here.
All right, first, the 10-year anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. We learned of specific and credible terror threats now, new ones, against targets in New York and Washington, D.C. Are we safer today than we were 10 years ago?
We're more vigilant, and I think that's a good thing. We've always got to keep our eye on the fact that we live in an asymmetric world today. We have a counterterror threat that is upon us, and it will be with us for many years to come. And we have to be vigilant, and we have to be strong in terms of intelligence gathering capability and the ability we have in order to respond. And I think our country is better today than it was in 9/11 to be able to deal with that threat.
You told a Fox interview today that the real threat to our national security is here at home. Please explain that.
Well, it's our core, and our core is our economy. And when our economy is weak, we're less able to compete with the rest of the world. We're less able to project the values of the United States. Part of the magic of our national security is our ability to project democracy and liberty and free markets and human rights. The rest of the world is better served when we are strong and able to project those values. When we have a weak core at home, we're less able to do that, and our light goes out. And right now our light isn't shining. So I would say that to have the national security that we need, to have the foreign policy that we need, to be able to deal with friends and allies in ways that are really effective, we need to have that strong core.
Now, turning to your presidential campaign, what do you need to do to get your polling numbers up?
Just be who we are. We're just beginning to introduce ourselves to the American people. I have every confidence that in the weeks and months ahead, as we get more and more in front of the American people and make our vision known for America, that we're going to do just fine.
Obama's speech to a joint session of Congress. Some say it was nothing more than a campaign speech. What do you say?
We're already too late in the game. I mean, we've had 3 summers of speeches. We've had 3 summers of economic discontent, and I believe the American people have tuned out, and I think they're looking at 2012 now to see who's got what it takes in order to lead this country forward. So I like to say, from a speech standpoint, it was a perfectly decent speech, but in terms of execution and implementation, that's just not going to happen. And even if it did, it isn't big enough and bold enough and focused on the areas that really need to be worked on in order to get this country fixed.
Obama, in essence, is asking Congress to approve another stimulus package. The first stimulus didn't work. No new jobs created, unemployment still over 9%. Should Congress do another stimulus?
Of course not. That's the last thing we need. We need to look at the structural impediments that stand in the way of job growth and deployment of capital in the marketplace. It's taxes and it's regulation, and we are overburdened by both. And until such time as we are big and bold in terms of tax reform, like the kind I put forward that the Wall Street Journal lauded last week, until such time as we're willing to say Obamacare is a big loser for this country to the tune of $1 trillion, impeding economic growth, along with Dodd-Frank, we're not going to be where this country needs to be in getting on our feet economically.
So you would like to see Obamacare repealed, right?
Yes, I would. And that's just not political speak. That's based on the reality of $1 trillion being dropped on this economy. We can least afford it. It's a new bureaucracy that is being created. It would be a mandate that likely is unconstitutional. And the uncertainty beyond all of that it infuses into the marketplace. And I say, all told, it just isn't worth it. We need to repeal it and let the states come up with fixes and solutions on health care reform without a mandate that's based on free market principles like we did in the state of Utah. We can get there. It's just going to take us a little patience and a little time and letting the states basically work out some of their own models for success. And then Washington should step back and say, how do we help? How do we facilitate and not get in the way?
Republican presidential candidate and former Utah Governor Jon Huntsman, thanks so much, sir, and good luck.
Great honor. Thank you.